Hey folks. Yeah, well, I want to talk about something I hear on the internet quite often about motorcycle ratings, dependability, all this kind of stuff, and entry-level motorcycles, beginners, motorcycles. I want to touch base on what they call the beginner entry-level Harley Davidson motorcycles. Well, some of this stuff, it is totally ridiculous. Like they, as far as the big twins, which is any Harley other than your Sportster, actually, as far as the big bikes, Alright, well, let's start with the Dyna Lowrider and the Dyna Glide, which is pretty much, it's the same thing. They have the lower seats, whatever. I'm the owner of a 1998 Dyna Lowrider. Yeah, it sets low, but that bike is being called an entry-level beginner's motorcycle. People, excuse me, if a beginner, a person that's only ridden, like Japanese motorcycles, which are much lighter generally than the Harley, unless it's a large, Goldwing or whatever. If a beginner thinks that they're going to start out with a Harley Dyna on an entry level, it'll get them killed. Who is saying this? This is ridiculous. You've got to be anybody, if they've never ridden a motorcycle, or they've only ridden motorcycles like Honda Rebel 250 or a 550 Honda or Suzuki, or even a over 800cc Kawasaki, Yamaha, or Honda, you better take riding lessons before you attempt to ride a Harley Davidson Dyna Lowrider or Dyna Glide. You better take riding lessons, because a beginner to get on that type of a Harley on an entry level, hell, you'll get yourself killed. I mean, wow, because those do have weight. It's like mine sets low, but you figure I'm 6'1", 190 pounds, and I've got muscular legs, and I don't have a whole lot of muscles in my arm, but what I have is good, and I've got a 44-inch chest, which in a man's shirt would be a size 18 right at. People, oh man, if I'd never ridden a motorcycle before, or had just ridden small motorcycles like a 380, a GT 380 Suzuki I had as a teenager, and I got on a Dyna Harley, man, I could get myself killed, because you have to learn, even though they set low, to maneuver that extreme weight, and many might not call it extreme weight, but it is if you're not used to them, because you have to build yourself up to the realization of machinery that you're operating that can fall on you, or many other things can happen. Such as, you figure, my Dyna Lowrider Harley has a 4-inch stroke. Even in first gear, you let off that clutch, and you got to accelerate it a little bit, as that clutch, that machine, you've got to get used to that in that kind of compression, along with that extra weight. I mean, because if you just pop the clutch, that 4-inch stroke engine with that 3.750 inch diameter cylinder in that baby, wow, it could jar you, and you could get hurt bad. Not only that, but you've got to consider, you got to lean the bike over and put the stress on your right leg to kick the kickstand out. And then after you stop this bike at a red light or stop sign, you know, you're going to have to lean it and put the stress on that right leg again to put it in first gear to take off. That's not an entry-level motorcycle at all. No, 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 no. I sat on a 2004 Fat Boy Harley last week that had a good price tag on it. It had 85,000 miles on it. I almost bought it. It was at San Jacinto Harley Davidson, and even that bike was lighter than my 98 Dyna lowrider. That Fat Boy was lighter, even though it was wider and had saddlebags and a windshield on it. I just wanted to get this straight. And then they say a Harley Sportster is a entry level. Well, yes and no. You got to figure a Harley Sportster has a higher seat height than a Road King does. That's not necessarily an entry level bike at all. I mean, and then still, you figure that engine, you know, like your 883 Harley, you're dealing with a 3.750 stroke on that bike. Still taking off in that first gear, that compression and that long stroke, it can knock your jitters loose, people. You got to know how to let off that clutch slowly and how to time that and get used to that engine RPM and get to know that clutch, you know, to where you can match those up, and you never want to pop that clutch on one of those. But entry level bull, those are not entry level motorcycles. A beginner's bike, it needs to be a smaller CC, a lighter motorcycle, not something that's 600 to 700 pounds with a 4-inch stroke engine. I mean, come on, people. But if you've never ridden a Harley and you want to buy a Dyna lowrider that they call a beginner's bike, you better take motorcycle lessons. You don't just get on that and go. But anyway, hope you're all having a good day. Bye-bye.